Welcome to All For You Stories, where we want you to think different so you act different. Let's go. God is laughing. His plan started with a promise, but promises can mean different things to different people at different times. Sometimes they are made with no intention of being kept, something said to fool others or even fool yourself. But other promises are made as a bond, unbreakable and permanent. When Jamar McBride walked away from his encounter with Bo, he promised himself he would never go back again. Everyone knew how dangerous Bo was, and letting Jamar go after showing up with money missing could only be described as a miracle. He did not know what he did to deserve it, but he would not again put himself in the same position. Bo's question, "You about this life?" rang in his ears, and as he walked home, he found himself answering the question aloud with a resounding no. Being a gangster, selling drugs, and breaking the law is not the life he wanted to live, and his promise to turn away would be his bond. Not only did Jamar stay away from trouble, but he began to do all of the things he had been taught to do. He wanted a lot of stuff: an Xbox, PlayStation, the newest iPhone, clothes, a nice car, jewelry, and many other material items he saw on TV. The only way to get those was to have money, but he would not put himself in dangerous situations to get it. He had to come up with a plan. To make the type of money he wanted, he knew he needed a good job, a real good job. He did not know precisely what that job would be, but he did know he would have to go to school to get it. He still clowned around in class, but he got his work done. He still made some dumb decisions, but never anything that compromised reaching his goal. In 8th grade, he got all A's and 2 B's. Throughout high school, he got an A in every class. When it came time to go to college, he had a choice of places to go. He got a scholarship to Howard and went there. In college, he learned a lot, excelled in every way, met some important people, and before he knew it, he finished law school and had a great job. While gaining degrees, influential friends, and a great job, he also lost his first name and simply became known as Mac. Mac worked his way up the ladder as a lawyer, and combined with his chiseled body, smooth brown skin, and light eyes, found himself in magazines as a person to watch. Before long, he became the youngest person in Los Angeles County to become a judge. Many people tried to convince him to go into politics, but being a judge was something Mac loved. There's something about the law and making sure that it worked for everyone that he found addicting. Not only did he love being a judge, but it allowed him to get everything he always wanted. Mac's plan got him exactly where he wanted to be, and the idea of changing it did not make sense. But you know what they say: if you want to make God laugh, tell him your plan. Bo's life went about how you would expect the life of a gangster to go. He nearly died twice from stepping to people as crazy as him, and could not stay out of jail long enough to be considered anything more than a visitor. By the time he hit his 40s, he had spent more than half of his life locked up. The last time he went to jail seemed like it would be the last time. He got caught up in a situation where the other boys staying alive could only be considered a miracle. Bo avoided a life sentence, but this, combined with his extensive record, meant only a miracle would get him out of jail. People often change their life and way of thinking in jail. You hear the stories of them finding God, changing their ways, and so on. The same happened for Bo, kinda. Bo did not find religion. For him, his life changed when he got an assignment to be a cook in the kitchen. Cooking became a refuge for Bo, a place where he could forget about all of his mistakes and regrets. He could focus on life at the moment, where he had control and power. Not only did he get these feelings, but he also became very good at it. He became a master with any ingredient, with the skill to take nothing and make something. Soon, everyone knew him for his cooking ability, and he had more juice than he ever had as a gangster. Nobody messed with him, Everybody respected him, and he even got all kinds of favors from everyone, including the guards. Everyone from the warden down came to know Bo, although not by that name. Because of the magic he worked in the kitchen, especially for the plethora of dishes with potatoes, Bo vanished and Tater was born. One day, two young guys got in a fight in the kitchen, and the one who started it got stabbed in the throat. He died, and it led to a massive court case. Tater got called to testify because although he claimed not to see anything, he should have. When he went to court, he did not recognize the judge or his light eyes, but Judge Mack recognized him. A flood of emotions hit the judge, and he had to call a recess. Everything in his life could be traced back to the moment where Bo miraculously let him go. The inmate did not realize it, but a long time before, he saved the judge's life. Judge Mack called in some favors, met with some lawyers, moved some things around, and to the surprise of everyone, Tater got released. When he exited the prison gates, Judge Mack stood there waiting for him. Tater recognized him from the courtroom, but not from almost 30 years ago. He walked toward him and got close enough to look into his light brown eyes. Then it made sense. Judge Mack took Tater to a small restaurant in the city, a restaurant Tater would soon be working at. The two of them talked and soon discussed the moment decades ago that brought them to this very moment. Judge Mack learned that the reason Bo let him go could be traced back to a sermon he happened to hear that morning about grace. It all started with grace, getting something you do not deserve, like getting out of prison when you are not supposed to, like getting a job at a restaurant because the judge happens to be an investor, like turning away from a life of crime because someone is too afraid to tell his G-Ma no. Sitting there with Tater made Judge Mack realize his life had more to do with grace than his own plan. In fact, maybe he never really had a plan at all. Thanks for listening. Please like, subscribe, check us out on TikTok, YouTube, or anywhere you can listen to a podcast. And then do what needs to get done. Peace.